what happens is that in Dwaraka, there is a Brahmana, and his son dies. He becomes very upset, and he comes to inside to complain to Krishna. What is this? Your kingdom? How can son die before the father? He's very upset. And this happens a few times, and once Arjuna was there. And he comes to complain. So Arjuna says, okay, if it is happening every time and Krishna is not, I will give it. Why you are abusing Krishna? Devotee means he wants to protect. Why you are abusing Krishna? He said, my son is dying, and what is he doing? So okay, next time your child is to be born, you inform me, send a messenger, I will come. And I have a powerful Gandiva, even from Yamaloka I can bring anyone. Okay? Arjuna is very powerful, Arjuna can travel everywhere. And Arjuna has all Divyastras. So what happened this time? That. This is that. Second time. So Arjuna is standing with Gandiva, and child is to be born in the house. And Arjuna has all the Divyastras ready with him. He is holding his Gandiva stand. Let me see. Because if Devata comes, Arjuna can even fight with Devatas. Arjuna defeated so many Devatas before. He was very powerful. Once even Lord Shiva came to fight with him as a hunter, and Arjuna fought very valiantly. So valiantly, Lord Shiva was very happy. So it's very powerful. So even once Gandharva had captured the Kauravas, in fact, and that time they sent a messenger, please protect us. At that time also Arjuna could tackle all of them. It was very powerful. So he stood there with a Gandiva and let us see who comes and takes the children. But here, Arjuna's weapons also disappeared. Forget about all his arrows disappeared. And child also gone. One more child dies. Now what to do? Arjuna had promised that if I cannot protect this child of yours, I will enter into fire. Okay. So he is getting ready to enter into fire. Because Kshatriya means he has to give protection, otherwise he cannot collect tax. Today the government is there, police is there, they collect tax, but they cannot give us any protection. So now Arjuna has lighted a fire, is about to enter that fire. Kṛṣṇa comes. What happened? All this? What is all this happened? No, this all is a story. This all happened. You were abusing, and I said this, and they said this. So that's fine. Now what happens is that Arjuna this time, Kṛṣṇa says, I know where all these children are. Arjuna says, I went throughout the whole universe. I went even Yamaloka, I went there, I went here, I went there. I could not find the children. I went everywhere. These children, big children, these souls, I could not find them anywhere in this universe. I searched everywhere. I could not locate these children. And therefore, I give a promise to this Brahmana that if his child dies, and if I cannot give him protection, then I will commit suicide. So I am proceeding. So Kṛṣṇa says, don't worry, I know where this is. They are outside this universe. So what did they do at this time? Kṛṣṇa calls for a spatial chariot. If a normal chariot cannot cross the covering of the universe. And this chariot flies in the air. Okay? And he goes all Devaloka of the road, Brahma's planet is over. Then it goes through the covering of the universe. The universe has sevenfold covering. It goes through the covering of the universe. And finally, it goes through the Brahmajyoti, outside the universe Brahmajyoti. And finally it reaches one feature of the Narayana called Kṛṣṇa, which is also called Mahavishnu. In fact, it is so much light that Arjuna cannot see also. But Mahavishnu is kind to reveal his form. So at that time, Mahavishnu says, yes, all the children are here. I just wanted to see both of you. So nice to see. Kṛṣṇa is so beautiful to see. He is another manifestation of the Lord, but it's very pleasing to see. So it's so pleasing to see. And therefore, I have done this much. So generally people do not understand. We think the small planet, our planet is not even like a speck of dust in this blue sky. We think that is everything. But it's nothing actually. In this universe, this is something. And outside the universe is a place called Vaikuntha Dhama. And in the Vaikuntha Dhama, this is like this, in the sky, a small cloud. All the material universes, there are millions of universes, not planet, millions of universes. And in the Vaikuntha Dhama, there is a special place called Goloka, right, where Kṛṣṇa resides. Goloka, Kṛṣṇa Loka, it's also called Kṛṣṇa Loka, also called Goloka. And in that there are many divisions and subdivisions in Goloka. There is a place called Braja, and there is Mathura, and there is Dwaraka. These are the places Lord is available in two-handed form. Otherwise in Vaikuntha, generally Kṛṣṇa is in four-handed form, Narayana form. When people talk about Vaikuntha, Vaikuntha means there is no limitation, no anxiety, no tension there. No Kuntha. Kuntha means anxiety. Yeah? There is no anxiety there. So this is the abode that Kṛṣṇa lives. And many people feel when Kṛṣṇa came to this world, what is the purpose people feel? Yada yada dharmasya glani bhavati. Correct? General understanding of that. But actually that is not advanced understanding. That is official reason why Kṛṣṇa comes. That is not the confidential reason that Kṛṣṇa came. In a day of Brahma, there are, you can say, billions of incarnations of God come in a day of Brahma. One day of Brahma is equal to also is huge. It's billions, 8.6 billion years. In this 8.6 billion years of Brahma, many incarnations come. Many. It is further divided into day and night. Then it is divided into 1,000 Mahayugas or Divya Yugas. And Yuga, Kṛṣṇa comes in every Yuga. Kṛṣṇa has many incarnations. Just like in this Kali Yuga, Kṛṣṇa came as Buddha, then he came as Lord Chaitanya, and now he's going to come as Kalki 3 times in the same Kali Yuga. Similarly, Kṛṣṇa comes so many forms. Just like waves are coming in an ocean, we go to the beach, waves are coming, uncountable, keep coming. So Kṛṣṇa also comes, keep coming. But in his personal form as Kṛṣṇa comes rarely. Mostly comes as incarnations. In his personal form, Kṛṣṇa comes once in a day of Brahma. Why? The reason is that killing the demons and all can be done by Devatas itself. Even Vishnu doesn't have to come. But still, personally to come, there is no need for Kṛṣṇa to come. Why does Kṛṣṇa come at all? And therefore Queen Kunti spent so many shlokas in Bhagavatam. Ketul ahu agam jatam punna shloka shatite. Like that. You came for this reason. You came for this reason. She keeps saying, some people say you came because you wanted to kill some big demon. Some people say you came because, Brahma prayed for you. Some people say you came to reduce the burden of all the demons on earth. Some people say, people reveals the confidential understanding. Because general understanding is that Kṛṣṇa comes for killing the paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha dushkritam. That is general understanding. But that is not the real understanding. The real understanding is that Kṛṣṇa comes for something very confidential. And what is that? Kṛṣṇa comes to show the pastimes of Vrindavan. That's why Krishna comes. Goloka, which are very, very contradiction. In fact, there was a disciple of Krishna, or a devotee of Krishna, rather say devotee of Krishna, called Uddhava. And Krishna also sent him from Dwarka to Vrindavan, just watch the devotees. Actually, Krishna sent him officially with a message for the gopis. But there was another reason for him. Krishna wanted him to see how advanced the devotees of Vrindavan is. When he saw the separation, the pain of separation they are living for Krishna, he could not even imagine how much they love Krishna. He cannot even imagine. So similarly, what is Vrindavan, what is Goloka, is beyond our comprehension. Vrindavan, Goloka means they simply love Krishna. That's how Prabhupada describes. In Vrindavan, even the air, the trees, the river, the leaves, every animal, every bird, everything loves Krishna. And that is Vrindavan. This is the spiritual world. In the material world, the place, the manifestation of that place is called Gokula. In a spiritual world, it is called. That is the difference. Only the difference is in the name. Place is same. There is a difference in the place. But what happens is that because our vision is mundane, just like as much we may tell again and again, the deities are spiritual. Dittas Vadi cannot see. We see deities are there. Two statues of marble, painted, dressed. We see like that, correct? But we cannot see the Lord standing here. And what do they use to say? Therefore, some religions they say that why do you worship idols? In fact, so much so they even when they conquered India, they broke as many temples as possible, including in Hampi and Kannada, so many temples. North India to fully broken everything. Krishna's birthplace, Lord Rama's birth, everything was broken, and mosques were built in the same place. But what do they understand? Why? Now today, so many Hindus also feel like that. What is the need of going to temple? What is the idol worship? Correct? Many friends also heard this. But they don't understand this point that something may not be visible or perceptible to the mundane vision doesn't mean it cannot have an existence. Just like I cannot see air, but air exists. I cannot see so many things, but it exists. So something may be in a higher plane. Similarly, the deity, the Lord exists in a different plane. Just like this book is in Brahma Samhita. Now for a common man, this is nothing but paper and ink. It's like any newspaper. But for us, it is sacred. We don't keep this on the floor. Newspaper you have to read and you throw in the dustbin. It has no value next day. It has no value next day. You throw. You want to sell that paper. But will you, after buying this, sell it for a thing? No? You keep it on the floor. No? Sacred. No? What is sacred? It's paper and ink only. No? What is the sacred about it? The sacred is, and now this because it carries the glories of the Lord, this becomes transcendental. This becomes not different from Krishna. This becomes sound incarnation of the Lord. So similarly, the deity, the Archavadana, and similarly the Dhama, where the Lord is worshipped, where the place where the Lord is worshipped, that is also not less than Vrindavan. Any place where the Lord is worshipped, that is also Vrindavan. Prabhupada used to joke when he was in Los Angeles. He said, we are not in Los Angeles, we are in Vrindavan now, because we are worshipping Krishna here. But Ditto nahi hai, Vrindavan hai, kya Vrindavan? Yahan marble laga hai, carpet hai. Because Lord is worshipped, this place becomes spacious. Not only that, even in a house, if you worship the Lord, then no longer that place remains a mundane place, it becomes spiritual. So that's why Kṛṣṇa Prabhupada is explaining, and just wanted to read something to show you the language he used. Even in English we need a dictionary to read language. That's how he did. Because he was a scholar. He was a scholar not only of Sanskrit, but very great scholars. Great acharya, that is most important. Great acharya. So we get Sanskrit scholars even now. There may be some big English scholars, but they are not devotees. He is a great devotee. And a devotee uses all embellishments, whatever he can to glorify the Lord. and so exact. In his explanation, glorification of Krishna, is so exact. Every word they weigh and they write. It's not that simply write something. That's what he's saying. He said it has a location beyond the realm of mundane nature and beyond the Brahman manifestation. That is the manifestation of the Lord. Beyond. Last class we were saying oversoul. That is Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada's word for super soul. That is the supreme position of the Lord. And it is beyond our perception today. And then he says very nicely, and he ends very nicely. This comes today's verse. Yes. He says, it's just like example he gives. Just like a cloud is there in the sky. Then the cloud can obstruct, when the cloud comes in the sky, it becomes dark, there is a thick cloud. But it doesn't mean our sun ceases to exist. Sun is still existing. And the cloud is temporary. After some time the cloud will go away. Similarly, today because of Maya, Maya is a cloud. The cloud is made by the energy of the sun. That is also science. Because of the heat of the sun, cloud comes. And the cloud obstructs us seeing the sun. Cloud does not disturb the sun. Sun is as it is. But we are not able to see the sun because of the cloud, which is another energy of the sun. In the same way, Maya is like a cloud. Maya is also energy of Kṛṣṇa only. But because of Maya, I cannot see Kṛṣṇa. But Maya cannot touch Kṛṣṇa. Just like cloud cannot touch the sun. Cloud is for me, not for the sun. For the sun is the something, what it has to do with it. Similarly for Kṛṣṇa, Maya cannot touch. Not only Kṛṣṇa, a pure devotee of Kṛṣṇa, an Acharya, also Maya cannot touch. Prabhupada was in America, he writes a very soft letter to one of his friends in India. He says, now my heart is stabbing me. I am not worried of Maya. I know Maya cannot touch me. But my heart is stabbing me. With great difficulty, this movement has a hope now. Prabhupada's health was collapsing and he was having some heart problem. So at that time, Prabhupada writes to some friend for some medicine or something to send for my people. So he is telling me, my heart is stabbing me. It's a great difficulty. I am very worried my mission will be disturbed. So be aware we are in that condition. So Kṛṣṇa, we know even a devotee who meditates on Kṛṣṇa, Maya cannot touch him. We know that. We know Maya is harassing all of us. If we do Namasmarana, if we think about Kṛṣṇa, we chant Kṛṣṇa's name, we know even in a day experience that day, Maya doesn't touch us. Whole day we feel blissful. Correct? That is our own practical experience. Correct? Imagine an Acharya who is completely at the shelter of Kṛṣṇa, we know Maya doesn't touch it. Therefore, they can be put on altar. Ordinary Baddha Jiva should never be put on the altar. It's a great insult. Altar means they are all transcendental personalities. You cannot put anybody's photo there. It's an offense, a joke. Correct? Worshipable entities are put. Worshipable means they are beyond the modes of material nature. Okay, you can have nowadays they say monitor guru, this guru, that's fine. But don't put them on the altar. It's a great offense. Next to the Acharya, please don't put them. Nowadays, but it's difficult to get because we have to cut them. They will have some picture unnecessary. You should not bring transcendental personality to the realm of mundane personality. And mundane personalities artificially we should not lift to the realm of transcendental personality. Definitely there are people who guide and all that. So what happens next? So when Acharya cannot be touched, how we can say Kṛṣṇa is touched by Maya? These people have this mistake. When Kṛṣṇa comes to this world, I give the example last Sunday. In a jail, sometimes the king may go out of kindness. And when he goes to the jail, all the prisoners say, another pickpocket has come. He is not a pickpocket, he has come to show kindness to you. He has come to inquire the welfare. How are you? Is everything fine? Are all arrangements there? Okay. And king has all the rights. If somebody falls at his feet, king says, I will obey all the laws now. King can say, okay, please. And he has the power. The king comes only for the good. There is nothing bad is going to happen. I'm just giving an example of a good king. So when Kṛṣṇa comes to this world, it is not that he is one pickpocket. He is a Vaikuntha Natha, he is a Goloka Natha. And he has come to this world just to give an example. What kind of life is there in Goloka, not even in Vaikuntha. Goloka, Kṛṣṇa is served with intense love. Goloka, Kṛṣṇa has very, very intimate devotees. Goloka, Kṛṣṇa, when Lord manifests his most beautiful feature, which even Narayana wants to see. And in Goloka, Kṛṣṇa is just holding a flute. Narayana is holding Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. Kṛṣṇa is not holding any weapon. Kṛṣṇa is only holding a flute. Any weapon is there? Nothing. And true, sometimes Kṛṣṇa, Sudarshana to kill, that is not Kṛṣṇa, that is Vasudeva feature of the Lord. Kṛṣṇa does not live that. He had his flute and he plays with his devotee. That's all, full stop. Suppose you have some galata, something happens, you don't go. If you have a guard, he says, please handle. Why you will bother? You continue to play with your child and everything. Why you will go and to participate in galata? So similarly, Kṛṣṇa also does not do anything. He is just always pleasurably in happy reciprocation with his devotees. Now, in whole Vaikuntha, there is nothing but Kṛṣṇa reciprocating intimately with his devotees. But in Goloka, that intensity reaches its limit, highest. Because there, the love of Kṛṣṇa is without any awe and reverence. In Vaikuntha, there is love of Kṛṣṇa, but awe and reverence. In fact, we are also worshipping Radha Kṛṣṇa as Lakshmi Narayana now, because we are not qualified to worship them as Radha Kṛṣṇa now. That is how the Archana Vidhi is. Archana Vidhi is to worship Radha Kṛṣṇa as Lakshmi Narayana, even though you are worshipping actually Radha Kṛṣṇa. But in the Goloka Nama, what happens? Kṛṣṇa is worshipped without awe and reverence. Sometimes friends of Kṛṣṇa tell Kṛṣṇa, "Arey, what kind of God are you?" And they will beat Kṛṣṇa. They will fight with him and defeat him. Kṛṣṇa allows to be defeated by his friends. Sometimes they will ridicule Kṛṣṇa, make fun of Kṛṣṇa. Sometimes the gopis also may make fun of Kṛṣṇa. Arey, you know what kind of person are you? Some Yashoda mother will also scold him. Arey, you should not do this is not good for you. He completely comes under the protection, love and care of his very advanced devotees. Complete. We cannot even imagine. Here we are there in the material world, and some reflection of that we have. Children come under protection of the parents, we also feel very happy. We take care of the child, we hug them again and again. It's okay. It is a reflection. When in spiritual world, just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sometimes was in Jagannath Puri, and suddenly he saw Kṛṣṇa, but then Kṛṣṇa then came out of vision. He went, where is my Kṛṣṇa? Running here and there. So we cannot even imagine. It is not like just like I see my child and I hug him. It is like that I see Kṛṣṇa and now you will fade. You cannot even imagine the love, the intensity of the love, because that is in purity with Kṛṣṇa. Just like sun is there, a reflection of sun. What is the difference? How much heat is there in the reflection of the sun? How much heat is there? Insignificant. In the sun, unlimited. Imagine with Kṛṣṇa, if you want, we are not saying, we say no negation, not needed any negation. You just increase your love for Kṛṣṇa, that's all we say. Everything has its due place. To increase your affection for Kṛṣṇa, you cannot even imagine that. It is not saying, just like yesterday was, what Janmashtami, Gokula Janmashtami, and all the people, they decorate the children as Kṛṣṇa, and sometimes they think, this is my Kṛṣṇa. All of them say, this is my Kṛṣṇa. Not correct. You know what is Kṛṣṇa? Not like this passing green on the underwear. Not this Kṛṣṇa. From mouth, saliva is floating. Not like this. Kṛṣṇa is. When he was in the lap of his mother, he killed a great demon called Putana. 6 years he lifted a mountain with his finger. what your son can do. And these are external. In fact, devotees are not interested in the power of Krishna. And the Vrindavan Vasis are not interested in display of Krishna's power. In fact, that they even ignore. Yashoda mother is not meditating on that. She is meditating on the sweetness of Krishna. That Krishna super excels all the devotees. In Vrindavan, everybody has his own child. Yeah. But they are more attached to Krishna than their own child. Because they know why. In fact, that happened. In Vrindavan, everybody had his child. And when every day they will all make something for their children, but especially something for Krishna. Every day. They will come to serve. They are so attached to Krishna. Therefore, when Krishna left Vrindavan, with Krishna Balaram went to Mathura, all the residents of Vrindavan practically died. They practically died. Just like the example of Dasharatha, he died when Lord Rama left. Practically like they were not physically dead, but they could not live any longer. Just somehow, what happened? All the coward boys, they also could not hardly live. All the gopis, they also practically died. Then what happened? They all have so many children, no? So still other friends are there. If Krishna is not there, other thousands of friends are there. Vrindavan. Why is it that? The point is that is the role Krishna plays in each and of our life. Even now, artificially, we are trying to be happy without Krishna. That is our madness. Simply we are suffering because of that. All of us are suffering. But the real reason of suffering we do not know. It's because the real reason is you solve all the problems you have. Sometimes you feel this, some few problems are solved, I will be very happy. Okay, we give you palace to live. Okay, we give you the best car. We give the most beautiful woman as your wife. What more? 100 children, okay, 100 children, loving children. Very obedient. You don't get obedient today. Obedient children. What you can imagine we give you. And whole city worships you every day. For ways or is all the drops. Still you will not be happy. Still you will, the pain of separation from Krishna, it is what actually is disturbing us. We are thinking there is some other thing. Which if I solve all this thing, I will be happy. No. Your real problem is your pain of separation from Krishna. We are discussing last few days, we are living in our fantasies, and another word we caught in the morning prophets is hallucinations. All of us are living in our fantasies and hallucinations. This way I will become happy, this way, a crazy fellow. Unless you get Krishna, you will not be happy. The reality fact is exactly the way Vrindavan residents were. When Uddhava came to Vrindavan, he was shocked to see the love of Krishna the Vrindavan residents were exhibiting, particularly the gopis, and among the gopis the Radharani. They were mad in separation from Krishna. You could see this is love of Krishna. And to show this, to show what is the real love of God, to show how intimately you can participate with Krishna's loving, pleasurable pastime, Krishna came. Krishna did not come for any other purpose. Krishna would not have come, Radharani will not be satisfied. Narayana come, they will ignore. Yashoda mother will ignore. Namaskar, they will do once and go. They are Vaishnava, they will do Namaskar. But they want Krishna. They are so highest because those relationships, same God, God is one only. The feature of Narayana does not exhibit those relationships. They are only shown by Krishna. So this sweet, pleasurable pastime Krishna came to show. So then now, the analysis is going on. That place is not different from Gokula, which is manifested on earth, or Vrindavan, like we see. The topmost abode, the most sacred place on earth, we discussed last time also in Nectar of Instruction. Vrindavan is the most sacred place in this universe, not on earth, in this universe. Even all Devatas, it is a Tirtha Patra. We are lucky, it is on this planet. Just like we are already lucky, on top of it, not only it is on this planet, it is in our own country. It is in our own country that Tirtha is there, which is sought by even Brahma. So advanced Tirtha. And in that also there are so many Tirthas. And among them, Radha Kunda, Govardhan is very important because Krishna lifted it by his name. And even higher than Govardhan, Radha Shyam, where Krishna played his pastime with gopis, is considered still the highest. We are so fortunate to be on that situation. So it is saying that it is not different. Today when you go there, what do you see? You see land, you see air, you see water, you see trees, you see houses, you see everything. It is because we are not developed. So that he explains now why it is. He says the success in identifying the true self is finally achieved when the screen of gross and subtle coils of conditioned soul is removed by the sweet will of Krishna. We can understand the two coverings which are covering us. One is gross and subtle. Subtle is the mind, intelligence and false ego, and gross is this Panchabhuta body. And this, all the Ashtadhatus, 5 the gross, 3 subtle are removed. I am able to come out of that wrong identification with these things. Then what happens? Till the success of unalloyed. However, the idea of Goloka is seen to differ from Gokula till the success in unalloyed devotion is achieved. Till we achieve pure devotion to Krishna, realization will not. We may say theoretically, Vrindavan is not different from the biggest Tirthana. But when we go there, you see what trees are there, houses are there. Therefore, Prabhupada says, you cannot go to Vrindavan buying a railway ticket or air ticket. You go there, you cannot see anything. Therefore, there is one more prayer. Vishaya Chariya Kave. What is the prayer? Vishaya Chariya Kave. Shuddha. Then? Kabe Hama Hiravo Shri. He says, the day, when the day will come that I can give up sense gratification, Indriya Tripti. When I can give up the Indriya Tripti, then I can enter Shri Vrindavan. Otherwise, you go there, you will only see trees and land. You want to see Krishna. And even the residents of great devotees, when they, many times we hear the stories. People tell us, I went to Vrindavan. And there, one boy came and he told me, where is that something, and he gave me. And I didn't recognize he was Krishna only. I've heard it 10 times, 10 different stories from Krishna. It's not correct to make Krishna so cheap. Many people. I went there and suddenly I was looking for something, and one boy came and he said it is there. And then later I realized Krishna had come. Certainly another boy only there. They make it so cheap, It is true because it has happened for great devotees. Madhavendra Puri went, Krishna came. It is said Madhavendra Puri went to Vrindavan. Next to Govardhan, I was sitting somewhere and chanting, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And then what happened? Suddenly a boy came. He said, what is it? Who are you? He said, I am a coward boy. So Madhavendra Puri said, what do you want? No, I come to give you milk. People are telling me that you are hungry sitting here. In Vrindavan, nobody fasts. So I come to give you milk. So he gave him milk. So he said that, that boy said, I'll just come. I'll just come. You drink this. I'll come after some work. Then I'll take the pot. So he took the pot. And he drank the milk. And after that, what happened? And that boy never came. And then Madhavendra Puri was chanting in the pure devotee. Great. One of the acharyas, we are so fortunate, such great people are there in our parampara. One of the acharyas in our parampara. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Guru's Guru. Ishwar Puri's Guru, Madhavendra Puri. And then what happened was that the boy never came and he slept down, chanting, waiting for that boy to not come. So kind, he gave him. He is an acharya, in acharya Gati. Somebody comes and gives something and eat, otherwise forget it. But you should not try to imitate. So then what happened? Then he had a dream, and in the dream he saw Krishna again. Same boy. He could see now as Krishna. And he said, I came to you because you are a great devotee. And you please come. I have been waiting for you. I have been hidden in the bush below Govardhan. Sometimes, the Muslims attack whole most important deity of Vrindavan was Govinda Deva, which is lying in Jaipur. It's like the most important temple it was. Now it's in Jaipur. So practically most of the temples are attacked. So he said they dug me. In fact, there are other deities also which have similar stories. Some more deities in Vrindavan. Goswami deities. So they dug me in below the earth. And they ran. Hid me in the bushes and they ran. And they never came back. Maybe they were killed or whatever reason. Maybe they were killed, otherwise they would have come back. And I'm lying there. So you come. Pick me up. They are thick bushes, be careful, bring some sticks and choppers. You will not be able to even proceed. So thick that there is a forest is. So Madanapuri got up. Order has come from the Lord. He ran. And he ran and he found a village near, and he woke up everybody. And he said, there's a dance here. So they waited for early morning. And the whole huge crowd gathered. Because, it's a great devotee. People had respect and saints were also genuine. Today, if you go and tell, nobody will come also. Because saints are also bogus. So they all crowded around, they went with him, and he said, take the chopper, they cut. And exactly the place he has seen in the dream, the locate, the deity is lying. They are shocked. And so heavy, nobody will put their Madanapuri practically lifts the deity. And they take it to the top of the Govardhana. And they install him there. He is a deity to worship there. And he is there. And then is the deity of, what is the name of the deity? Gopala deity. And then they start the Abhishek and all the ceremony. They start. And all the villages every day come. That's a Govardhan Puja. It will come now after 1 or 2 months. It will come to get ceremony. So the point is what? That we should not imitate. We are not like Madhavendra. These things don't assume will happen. I go to Vrindavana, suddenly one boy will come and say, who are you? Where are you? Take this. If it comes also, it will come to the boy. Don't become special. This special mercy of Kṛṣṇa, become fit for that. It's not that Kṛṣṇa will not give. Nobody is special for Kṛṣṇa. Correct? But you should deserve that mercy. When you see in the Bhagavatam and Prahlad Maharaj hand Narasimha is touching, Prabhupada said, yes, that mercy Kṛṣṇa is also wants to give you. Imagine Kṛṣṇa personally touches our hand, our head with his hand. What a great mercy. But are we qualified? Become qualified. Prabhupada used to say, first deserve, then desire. You should desire this intimate pastimes to become participating in that. Srila Prabhupada ki, Sri Brahma Samhita ki.